Welcome back, heroes. And today we talk about Zenyatta. Although that may be his last name, he does have a first name, which is Tekhartha. You don't really need to know that. His story begins following the Omni Crisis, and I haven't made a video on the Omni Crisis yet, but if you're watching this months from now, I'm pretty sure it's probably out. But following the Omni Crisis, which was the Omnics versus the humans, this led to the humans having a very bad impression of the Omnics. All Omnics are bad because some Omnics decided to rebel against the humans. Sounds like something today, but that's beside the point. After the Omni Crisis was done and over with, Zenyatta and a bunch of other Omnic monks came together and described what they experienced as a spiritual awakening. Now, where did this come from? It just kind of happened. I guess they wandered around too much, went a little bit insane, and just had a spiritual awakening. So what they did was they abandoned their pre-programmed lives to establish a communal monastery deep in the Himalayas. As you've seen if you played Overwatch at all, you'll notice that one of the maps is located in the Himalayas. That is the monastery that holds Zenyatta's monk clan group religion. Now, the Omni Crisis was actually a long time ago, 30 years almost. And the Zenyatta then was completely different from the Zenyatta now. So in that gap that I just laid out, there was many years of meditation. The nature of existence, why are we here, what are we, from the Omnic's perspective. They came to believe that they are more than artificial intelligence, that, like humans, they actually do possess a soul, which was bound to happen because they are conscious of themselves. This group is known as Shambhali. It's a Buddhist-esque monastery. Now, coming across this conclusion that all Omnics have souls, they began to preach Omnic rites. This is where some of the cinematics come in. For example, the Widowmaker and Tracer cinematic, where that robot gets shot in the head. Now that Omnic was very important. You see, he was actually the leader of this entire spiritual clan. His name was Tekhartha Zenyatta. You see, he sought to heal the wounds that the Omni Crisis caused. As I said, the Omni Crisis made everyone hostile towards each other, no matter who you were. If you're an Omnic, humans hate you, and you may or may not hate the humans, regardless of how peaceful you are. You just had that stamp labeled on your forehead. And before the Omni Crisis generation that I'm talking about, this was when humans and robots were in a very peaceful society, and Zenyatta wanted to get back to the day and age. The message of the Shambhali was embraced by millions around the world, and they became global celebrities, which is a good and a bad thing. It did draw attention, and as you saw, Zenyatta was holding a rally, talking, preaching, changing minds, helping people, that kind of thing. But Zenyatta was a part of this clan, but here's the weirdest thing about this. He did not agree with the direction the clan was going. He was very spiritual, very religious, but he just did not like where Zenyatta was going with it. He didn't want to go back before the Omni Crisis. He would rather repair the problems between humans and Omnics, not through the dogmatic teaching, but just through connection and engagement. Zenyatta is very political, and that's a problem for Zenyatta. Zenyatta simply just wants to get along, where Zenyatta was also going for Omnic rights. I don't know why Zenyatta didn't want that. Remember, just because he's the protagonist doesn't mean his beliefs are perfect. But this ultimately led to Zenyatta following his own path. He chose to leave the monastery and wander around the world. This gave him the nickname Wandering Guru, as well as Adventurer. So instead of following the clan and teaching their beliefs, he decided to just come across random people and have them overcome their personal struggles individually. If you were wandering the world and Zenyatta just so happened to come across your path, he would help you. Having internal demons, he's there for you. Very lucky to come across him. In fact, one person was very lucky. This overlaps with another Overwatch hero. That is Genji. But before we talk about Genji, another thing about Zenyatta is that, talking about Zenyatta is very political and peaceful. Doesn't want anything to do with anyone. Does not want to do anything physical. Just wants to talk it out. But the thing is that Zenyatta, he's not afraid to fight. He must protect the innocent, whether they may be Omnic or human, which then puts him in the healing category for heroes. So, there's that. But he came across Genji, and as you do know by the story of Genji, which I'll link down below, Genji was terribly beaten up by his brother, left almost dead. Mercy rebuilt him to become a cyborg. So even though Zenyatta doesn't care whether you're human or Omnic, or cyborg in this case, he's going to help you out. So he saw that Genji was struggling internally and had him come to terms with his dual existence. The dual existence was, is he human or is he a robot? He was torn between. He didn't know what to do. And eventually Genji moved into the village at the Shambhala Monastery, which is weird because Zenyatta was not there. And as we all know, the story of Mondada, continuing his story, he's dead. Widowmaker killed him. Why? Well, you're just gonna have to find out why. I'll cover her in a later video. But there you have it, the story of Zenyatta. That's one of the main reasons you only do see him as the healer and one of the only Omnics. He's the only person that is willing to help human, Omnic, or cyborg and actually do something about it, not just talk it out like some people. He will fight alongside you, he will throw Discord orbs, he will heal you, he will go into his super state and have you all become invincible and take over a point, which is very fantastic, and I hope people do that. So if your team does not have a healer on it, make sure that one of you guys could become Zenyatta, if you're up to the challenge. But anyways, that's been it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, heroes.